Well, there's no respite in sight for flood-affected communities on Australia's east coast, with yet more rain forecast for already saturated areas. In northern Victoria, it's a dynamic situation. The town of Kerrang remains cut off. Rochester residents are being warned to expect further flooding, while Echuca is bracing for the Murray River to peak.
Echuca residents are in a desperate race against the rising Murray, sandbagging for days. Despite the utter exhaustion, they're not giving up.
Born and bred here, grew up in the street, next street over, so...
A wall now surrounds this block of homes as a small band of neighbours and volunteers work tirelessly to save their community.
If we lose one house, we lose them all. So everybody's been sleeping in shifts at night, running pumps, calling us if something goes wrong.
I simply go dry on his birthday.
A drinks delivery for John McCann's 64th, but he says what he wants is flood protection from the council.
Our shire has had almost 30 years to build a proper flood defence. Instead, they just chuck this down the street.
Those outside the levee paying the price for being on the wrong side of the street as the Murray River in Echuca surpasses a 30-year high, with the peak still yet to come. The SES door knocking overnight with concerns homes thought to be safe may now be at risk.
Can't emphasise enough that those levees, whilst they're holding at this point in time, do continue to be a vulnerability.
Up to 700 residents in both Echuca and Echuca Village told to evacuate immediately.
And no one wants to leave their home. No one wants to do that. But you've got to make choices that are in your best interests.
Day and night volunteers have been carting sandbags across the bridge in an effort to save homes. They're filling up empty compost bags, horse feed sacks, hessian sacks, but every time they add a layer of sandbags, the river rises to meet it.
We'll just do our best. We've been up all night putting fuel in pumps and doing all sorts of things to protect our properties.
Across the border, residents also at the mercy of the rising Murray. As the river spilled into Dennis Case's backyard, the neighbours came in its wake, building a wall around the home he wouldn't leave.
I didn't know I had so many friends. That's
good.
It's lovely.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah,
that's community.
I'm going to give you a hug on camera.
The Loddon River at Kerrang peaked just below the 78-metre mark with one levee breached. Flood-weary Rochester warned some residents may be hit once again. Barmer and Lower Moira told to prepare for major flooding levels to be reached mid-next week. Buildings that service the local Indigenous community under threat as the Bureau of Meteorology delivered the news no one wants to hear. More rain is on the way.
And Abby Dinham joins us now from flood-affected Echuca. Good evening, Abby. How's the Murray River looking now?
Now, the official word at the moment, Janice, is that it's at about 94.85 metres. Now, they're predicting that it'll peak at 94.9 later tonight. To give you some sort of indication, the closest point from where I'm standing to where the Murray is about 500 metres. So just behind me here, it's a small road that you can't see. It's under about a metre of water. That leads to a community in East Echuca. This is where they've been sandbagging for the last few days, trying to protect their homes, completely independently of any help from the SES. Now, I put it to the SES this afternoon why they haven't been assisting in helping these people out there to protect their properties, and they say because they're under official evacuation orders that the SES priority at this stage is to protect the critical infrastructure on the inside of the temporary levee wall. Now, while some residents out there say they're happy with the level of sandbagging that they've got in place at the moment, what they really need now is water pumps to try and pump out that water that's seeped through the cracks in the sandbag, and also with the Bureau of Meteorology predicting more rainfall up to 35 millimetres tomorrow, a water pump could mean the difference in saving a home.
Thank you so much. That's our reporter Abby Dinham on the scene there in Echuca, Victoria, where the Murray River is expected to peak tonight.